Hot Key Books presents STAGS 4, TIGERS, written by M.A. Bennett and read by Lucy Dixon and Nathan Clarke. Thou art of the jungle, and not of the jungle, but I love thee. Rudyard Kipling, The Second Jungle Book. Part 1. Trust in Me. Chapter 1. It was 7 o'clock of a very cold evening when I set out for my meeting with the abbot. I snuck out of the front door of Lightfoot House into the shock of the January cold. I crossed the garden quad, then went down the 100 steps, slippery with frost, past Honorius House and Oswald House, past the illuminated windows of the library, and into the Gothic dark of the chapel. All the way the letter fluttered in my hand in the bitter breeze. As if there hadn't been enough drama, what with the fire at Longcross Hall and the death of its lord, Rollo de Warlencourt, the letter which I now clutched had told me that there was another secret society besides the Order of the Stag. The letter had shockingly revealed that rebels against the establishment had been watching the Order since the time of the Gunpowder Plot, tracking them for centuries. Rebels known as the Foxes. Their leader, their own Grand Master, known as Reynard, had written to recruit me. And I was pretty sure I was going to meet one of his agents right now. The meeting was to be at 7 o'clock in the chapel, because everyone else would be in the refectory at Commons, the evening meal. I didn't tell anyone I was going to meet Abbot Ridley. Not Shafeen, even though he was my boyfriend. Not Nell, even though she was my best friend. And not Ty, the outsider who'd become an insider, the one who knew much more about this than any of us. Apart from maybe Abbot Nathaniel Ridley, headmaster of STAGS, an all-round nice guy, who, I was convinced, was up to his handsome neck in it. It was the abbot, after all, who had directed me to check my post. He'd known the letter was coming. He was there before me, in the front pew, sitting poker straight with the cowl of his habit drawn right up. From the angle of his head, he seemed to be looking up at the window, the one that showed St. Aidan and the White Stag. The chapel was dark, lit only by the pinprick light of candles, but moonlight flooded through the window, its silver hue unchanged by the white flanks of the stag. As I walked down the aisle, I'm not going to lie, I had the strongest feeling that there would be someone else beneath that hood. It hadn't occurred to me until that very moment that I might be in danger. But as I slid into the pew beside the cowled figure, it raised a pale hand and lowered the hood to reveal the ruffled curls of the abbot. I knew just what to say, don't you worry. There was no wondering where to start. I waved the letter under his nose. "OK," I said. "I did what you asked, I checked the post. Now show me." He didn't waste time asking me what I meant. It was truth time, and we both knew it. The gaslighting days were over. He turned over his long left hand, the fingers splayed, and showed me the pad of his thumb. There, in the moonlight, I could see the smooth scar tissue in the shape of a perfect little M. I looked at it for a moment. Without hesitation, I pressed my own branded thumb to his. He didn't draw away, but returned the pressure. We looked at each other and smiled a grim smile. Our dynamic had changed forever. The brand gave us an undoubted bond. I knew we couldn't be the only people in the world who'd been tried by the Dark Order of the Grand Stag, but right now that's how it felt. Just us two manslayers, sitting together in a pool of moonlight in the Stag's chapel. We were no longer head teacher and pupil. I spoke to him now as an equal. "So, you're one of the Foxes?" He said nothing. "First rule of the Fox Club, eh?" I said. "You don't talk about it." "Something like that." "And I take it that you being here at STAGS isn't an accident?" "No. The school was identified as, shall we say, the epicentre of the problem.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?